The next 7 days bring a complete transformation of the weather pattern across the United States. Arctic air, multiple snow systems, and wind chills that could reach minus 30 degrees in some areas. This is not a brief cold snap. This is an extended period of winter weather that affects nearly every state east of the Rockies. Let me lay out exactly what is coming, when it arrives, and what you need to do to prepare. We start with where we are right now, and the temperature contrast across the country could not be more dramatic. If you are along the Gulf Coast, you have been dealing with unusual warmth and humidity. New Orleans has enjoyed mild, sunny conditions. Mississippi dealt with severe weather and tornado warnings earlier today. Temperatures have been running well above normal from Texas through the Florida Panhandle. Northeast Florida, particularly around Jacksonville and the Space Coast, has experienced perfect weather for the past 10 days. Clear skies, comfortable temperatures in the 50s and low 60s, that pleasant stretch is about to end. Missouri has been quiet, temperatures hovering around 40 degrees, calm, unremarkable winter weather. Some of you have commented this has been the most boring winter you can remember. That changes dramatically starting Wednesday. Meanwhile, if you're in the mountains of Colorado, you are already cold. Temperatures dropped into the teens this morning. What is unusual is that the mountains are not even fully snow-covered yet. That tells you how the winter pattern has been running so far. South central Wisconsin saw beautiful conditions over the weekend. By this morning, rain was falling. Some areas are already reporting the transition to snow as I record this. That is how rapidly this pattern is shifting. Now, the meteorology behind what is about to happen. High pressure is building along the west coast. At the same time, the jet stream is digging into a deep trough across the central United States. That combination creates a perfect pipeline for Arctic air to flow straight out of Canada and penetrate deep into the southern states. This is not a new pattern. We see this set up multiple times every winter. What makes this one notable is the intensity and duration. We are not dealing with a single system. We are dealing with wave after wave of snow and cold over a 7 to 10 day period. The jet stream dip intensifies significantly by Tuesday and Wednesday. By late Wednesday, that trough extends from the Canadian border all the way down through the Gulf Coast. Arctic air spills southward behind it. Texas sees freezing temperatures. The central Gulf Coast drops into the 20s. Even Florida experiences temperatures in the 30s. Within that trough, multiple low-pressure systems develop. The first one forms across the Midwest on Wednesday. Another could develop along the East Coast on Thursday. A third system moves through over the weekend. Each one brings snow to different areas, and the cumulative effect is what matters. Here is the day-by-day breakdown. Today, Monday, is quiet, the calm before the storm. Only upstate New York and northern New England are seeing any active weather. Light snow a few inches at most. Nothing to worry about if you live there. Standard January conditions. Tuesday starts to get interesting. An Alberta clipper drops out of Canada into the upper Midwest. This is a fast-moving system. Michigan and Wisconsin are the primary targets. Snowfall totals from this system alone will be 2 to 4 inches, possibly 6 in lake-enhanced areas near Grand Rapids and Green Bay. The clipper moves quickly. By Tuesday evening, it is already crossing into the Great Lakes. Tuesday is also your last warm day if you are in the northern United States. Temperatures reach the upper 30s and low 40s across much of the Midwest and Ohio Valley. After Tuesday, temperatures drop and stay down. Wednesday is when the pattern really activates. A more significant low-pressure system develops across the Midwest. A strong cold front extends southward from that low, pushing all the way into the Tennessee Valley and the Gulf Coast. Wednesday morning, rain moves through Kentucky, southern Ohio, Indiana, and Arkansas. Some of that rain could be heavy. Thunderstorms are possible if there is enough instability. But that rain is the leading edge of the cold air. Behind the front, temperatures crash. Wednesday afternoon and evening, the rain changes to snow across the Ohio Valley. Columbus, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Louisville all transition from rain to snow Wednesday evening. Snow continues through Wednesday night. At the same time, lake effect snow develops over Lake Michigan. The winds shift to the north and northwest, creating a long fetch across the lake. That sets up intense snow bands downwind. Northwestern Indiana, particularly the area from Gary through Valparaiso to Michigan City, is in the bullseye. 6 to 12 inches of lake effect snow is possible Wednesday into Thursday morning. Some localized areas could see 15 inches if the bands remain stationary. By Thursday morning, we have two areas of focus. First, the Ohio Valley and interior Northeast are dealing with ongoing snow from the Clipper system. Second, a coastal low-pressure system may try to develop near the mid-Atlantic coast. This coastal low is uncertain. If it develops quickly and intensifies, the Northeast could see significant snowfall Thursday into Thursday night. Boston, Providence, Hartford, all potential targets. If the low stays weak or tracks too far offshore, the Northeast sees much less snow. Right now, confidence is low for a major Northeast snowstorm on Thursday. More likely, we see light to moderate snow across interior areas, with coastal regions getting less. The Appalachian Mountains see snow on Thursday regardless of what the coastal low does. Elevations above 2,000 feet from West Virginia through western North Carolina could see 4 to 8 inches. Some of that snow could extend down the spine of the mountains into northern Georgia. Atlanta probably does not see accumulating snow, but the mountains north of the city could see a coating to 2 inches. There is also the possibility of scattered snow flurries or light snow across parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, and northern Alabama on Thursday, but accumulation is unlikely. The system is too broad and disorganized in the south. You might see flakes flying, maybe a dusting on grassy surfaces, but roads will likely stay wet. Friday brings yet another system. This one drops out of Canada and moves across the northern Great Lakes and into the Northeast. Light to moderate snow falls across Michigan, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and northern Ohio on Friday. Another 2 to 4 inches for many areas. The Northeast sees additional snow Friday into Friday night. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, all adding to their seasonal totals. Late Friday into Saturday, the models show the possibility of light snow reaching as far south as Tennessee and northern Mississippi. The GFS model has been consistent with this signal. The European model also shows it, though with less enthusiasm. Confidence is low because we are 5 days out and these southern snow events are notoriously difficult to forecast. But it is on the table. Saturday into Sunday is when the second Arctic blast arrives, and this one is more intense than the first. A strong system moves across the Ohio Valley and Northeast on Saturday. This brings another round of snow to areas that have already seen multiple snow events earlier in the week. The Ohio Valley could see 3 to 6 inches Saturday into Saturday night. The Northeast adds another 4 to 8 inches in favored areas. What makes Sunday interesting is the timing of the coldest air with potential moisture from the Gulf. The European model has been showing the possibility of snow in the deep southeast on Sunday. Areas like southern Alabama, southern Georgia, possibly even the Florida Panhandle. This would be rare. This would make news if it happens, but we are 6 days out. I cannot tell you with confidence that this will occur. What I can tell you is that the pattern supports it. Very cold air will be in place. If moisture comes up from the Gulf at the right time, snow is possible. We will know more in 2 to 3 days as we get better model data. Snowfall totals for the entire 7-day period paint an impressive picture for the northern United States. The Appalachian Mountains are looking at 8 to 16 inches combined from all systems. The higher elevations in West Virginia and western North Carolina could approach 20 inches in isolated areas. These mountains always overperform in these setups. The Great Lakes region sees substantial accumulation, not just from the systems themselves, but from lake effect enhancement. Western Michigan along Lake Michigan could see 12 to 18 inches total. Northwestern Indiana, as I mentioned, could see similar amounts just from the lake effect event on Wednesday. The Ohio Valley is looking at widespread 6 to 12 inches. Some areas see more, some see less, depending on exactly where the heaviest bands set up. But everyone in the Ohio Valley from Kansas City to Pittsburgh sees accumulating snow this week. The Midwest sees 5 to 10 inches across the board. Chicago could end up with 8 to 10 inches combined from multiple systems. Minneapolis and the Dakotas see 6 to 10 inches. The Northeast is more variable. Interior New England, particularly the higher elevations, could see 10 to 15 inches. Coastal areas depend entirely on that Thursday coastal low and how the Saturday system tracks. If both systems favor the coast, Boston could see 8 to 12 inches. If both track inland or offshore, Boston might only see 3 to 6 inches. The mid-Atlantic remains the biggest question mark. Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia. If that Thursday coastal low develops, these cities could see 4 to 8 inches. If it does not, they might only see 1 to 3 inches of scattered snow. The pattern is active enough that they will see something, but how much remains uncertain. And then the southeast. Right now, the probability is low, 10 to 20% for accumulating snow in places like northern Georgia and northern Alabama, but low probability is not zero probability. And if that Sunday system comes together, the probability increases. Now, the cold air. This is where things get serious. Two separate Arctic blasts move through. The first arrives Wednesday and peaks Thursday morning. The second arrives Saturday and peaks Sunday morning. The second one is colder and more widespread than the first. Thursday morning, wind chills along the Gulf Coast drop into the 20s. Mobile, Alabama could feel like 25 degrees. Pensacola similar. That is cold for that region. New Orleans sees wind chills in the upper 20s. Baton Rouge similar. If you are not accustomed to cold weather, this will feel brutal. The Ohio Valley sees wind chills in the single digits Thursday morning. Cleveland feels like 5 degrees. Pittsburgh feels like 3 degrees. Actual air temperatures will be in the mid-teens. The Great Lakes region sees wind chills below zero Thursday morning. Chicago feels like -5. Milwaukee feels like -8. Detroit feels like -3. Bundle up. The Northeast is cold but not extreme on Thursday. Wind chills in the teens for most areas. The cold air takes longer to penetrate into New England because of the ocean moderating effect. Friday and Saturday bring slight moderation. Still cold, but not as intense. This is the lull between the two Arctic blasts. Then Sunday morning arrives, and Sunday morning is when the real cold hits. Sub-zero wind chills spread across the entire northern tier of the country. Iowa sees wind chills of -15 to -25 degrees. Wisconsin and Minnesota see -20 to -30 degrees. Some areas in the upper Midwest could see wind chills approach -40 degrees Sunday morning. The Great Lakes region sees widespread sub-zero wind chills Sunday morning. Chicago feels like -10. Detroit feels like -5. Cleveland feels like -8. Even the Northeast finally gets hit with severe cold Sunday morning. Wind chills drop into the single digits above zero across much of New England. Interior areas could see wind chills below zero. And here is what is remarkable. Even Florida sees near freezing temperatures Sunday morning. Central Florida, including Orlando, could see actual air temperatures in the low 30s. The Space Coast, which has been enjoying perfect weather, drops into the upper 30s. Northern Florida could see widespread freezing temperatures Sunday morning. This is the coldest weather Florida will see all winter. If you live in Florida, pay attention to this forecast. Protect outdoor plants. Bring pets inside. Make sure your heating system works. Many Florida homes do not have adequate heating because it is rarely needed. Sunday morning, you will need it. Actual air temperatures matter as much as wind chill. Sunday morning, actual air temperatures across the Midwest and Ohio Valley will be in the single digits. Chicago could see actual temperatures around 5 degrees. Northern areas drop below zero. Minneapolis could see -5 to -15 degrees Sunday morning. This cold persists into early next week. Monday and Tuesday remain below average, and the long-range pattern suggests more cold air builds over Canada late in January. Another Arctic outbreak is possible around January 25th through January 30th. Preparation is critical. Let me give you specific guidance based on where you live. If you are in Florida, particularly central and northern Florida, this is your coldest weather of the winter. Most Floridians do not own heavy winter coats. You do not need to go buy one. Layering works better. 3 or 4 thin layers trap more heat than one thick layer. Long underwear, regular clothes, a fleece or sweatshirt, and a windbreaker on top. That combination will keep you warm. Protect your outdoor plants. Bring potted plants inside. Cover sensitive plants with sheets or blankets Saturday night into Sunday morning. Citrus growers are watching this forecast closely. If temperatures drop into the upper 20s for an extended period, there could be crop damage. Check your heating system before you need it. Make sure it works. Change the filter if you have not recently. Space heaters are an option, but use them safely. Never leave a space heater unattended. Keep them away from curtains, furniture, and anything flammable. If you are in the Gulf Coast states, similar advice applies. You see cold weather occasionally, but not often this cold. Layer your clothing. Make sure pipes are protected. Let faucets drip slightly if you have pipes in unheated areas. If you are in the mid-Atlantic or southeast and you get snow, do not wait to clear it. Snow followed by extreme cold creates ice. Thursday afternoon, clear your driveway and sidewalks while the snow is fresh. By Thursday night, temperatures plummet and anything left on the ground freezes solid. If you are in the Ohio Valley or Midwest, you know winter. But this is intense even by your standards. Multiple snow events in 1 week require planning. Stock up on groceries now so you do not have to drive multiple times during snow events. Make sure you have enough gasoline for snowblowers. Check that your snow shovels are accessible. For those with heart conditions or back problems, consider hiring someone to shovel, or at least shovel multiple times with lighter amounts rather than trying to move heavy, deep snow all at once. Heart attacks during snow shoveling are common. Cold air constricts blood vessels, exertion raises heart rate and blood pressure, and that combination is dangerous. If you are in the Northeast, you are used to snow, but lake effect can be intense. If you are in a lake effect snowbelt, particularly northwest of the Great Lakes, you could see substantial accumulation very quickly. Have supplies at home. Do not assume roads will be passable. For everyone dealing with extreme cold, frostbite and hypothermia are real dangers. Frostbite can occur in 15 minutes when wind chills drop below -20 degrees. Sunday morning, much of the upper Midwest sees wind chills in that range or colder. Cover all exposed skin. Face masks or balaclavas, not just hats and scarves. Insulated gloves, not thin gloves. Layers of clothing with a windproof outer shell. If you work outdoors, take frequent warm-up breaks. Every 20 to 30 minutes, get inside or into a heated vehicle. If you start shivering uncontrollably, your body is losing the battle to stay warm. Get inside immediately. For drivers, winter emergency kits are essential. Blanket, flashlight, water, snacks, first aid kit, ice scraper, small shovel, jumper cables, phone charger. If you get stuck in a snowstorm, stay with your vehicle. Do not try to walk unless you can see a building nearby. More people die walking in winter storms than die waiting in their cars. Run your engine for heat, but only periodically. 10 minutes every hour is sufficient. Make absolutely certain your exhaust pipe is not blocked by snow. Carbon monoxide poisoning is silent and deadly. Cat litter or sand in your trunk serves two purposes. It adds weight over the rear wheels for better traction, and you can spread it under your tires if you get stuck. It works, it is cheap, carry a bag. Check on elderly neighbors and family members. They are more vulnerable to cold. Make sure they have adequate heating. Make sure they have food and medications and do not need to go outside during the worst weather. Offer to help. Hypothermia can develop even indoors if the heat is inadequate. Pipes are a major concern during extreme cold. If you have pipes in unheated spaces, let faucets drip slightly. Moving water freezes less readily than standing water. Open cabinet doors under sinks to allow warm air circulation. If pipes freeze, thaw them slowly with a hairdryer or space heater. Never use an open flame. For those with livestock or outdoor animals, make sure they have shelter and water. Water troughs freeze solid in these temperatures. Check them multiple times per day. Break ice or provide fresh water. Historical context helps put this in perspective. This is significant winter weather, but it is not unprecedented. The blizzard of 1978 brought 3 feet of snow and temperatures of -20 degrees to parts of the Midwest and Northeast. That was a single intense storm that paralyzed the region for days. The superstorm of 1993 dropped snow from Alabama to Maine. Birmingham, Alabama saw 4 inches of snow. That storm also brought hurricane-force winds along the coast. January of 1985 saw an Arctic outbreak that brought freezing temperatures deep into Florida. Citrus crops suffered hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. Orlando dropped to 19 degrees. This event is not at that level, but it follows a similar pattern. What makes this different is that we are not dealing with one storm. We are dealing with multiple systems over 7 to 10 days. The cumulative effect is what matters. For the northern United States, this is winter. Multiple snow events in a week happen regularly in January. What makes this notable is the dual Arctic blasts and how far south the cold air penetrates. The National Weather Service issues various warnings and advisories during winter weather. Understanding them helps you prepare appropriately. A winter storm warning means significant snow or ice is imminent or occurring. Travel will be difficult or impossible. This is the most serious winter weather alert. A winter weather advisory means snow, ice, or other wintry precipitation will cause travel difficulties. Not as severe as a warning, but still hazardous. A wind chill warning means dangerously cold wind chills are expected. Generally issued when wind chills will be minus 25 degrees or colder. Frostbite and hypothermia are possible with prolonged exposure. A wind chill advisory means very cold wind chills are expected. Generally issued when wind chills will be minus 15 to minus 24 degrees. Check your local National Weather Service forecast office for specific information for your county. They provide detailed forecasts that a national overview cannot match. They also issue localized warnings based on conditions in your specific area. The pattern beyond this week remains active. Long-range models show continued below-average temperatures and an active storm track through late January. This could be the coldest and snowiest period of the entire winter for many areas. Another potential Arctic outbreak appears in the models around January 25th. That is 2 weeks out, so confidence is low, but the pattern supports it. If you live in the northern United States, do not put your winter gear away after this weekend's. Things will change between now and the weekend. Storm tracks shift, snow amounts adjust up or down. The southern snow potential on Sunday could materialize or could disappear. That is why checking forecasts daily is important during active patterns. For those hoping for snow in areas that rarely see it, manage your expectations. The Ohio Valley and Northeast are much more favored than the Mid-Atlantic or Southeast, but there is a chance, and even a low chance is worth monitoring if you live in those areas. For those exhausted by winter weather, particularly in areas that have already seen significant snow this season, this is January. This is what January does in the northern United States. Spring is 10 weeks away. Bundle up, check on your neighbors, stay safe, and that is the